If you own 1986 Fleer, or you own Star cards, or you own basketball cards from the 80s, generally the Fleer, but there's been a fundamental shift actually in the 1980s basketball cards in the last year and a half. I've been in the hobby a long time, and the market has spoken. If you think your 86 Fleer is just going down also with the market, you are wrong. You are missing two big pieces of information, so I'm here to show you. Check it out.
The 1980s basketball card market has changed. Let's talk what's currently happening with a focus on 1983 through 86 Star basketball cards.
Hi, my name is Ryan. Welcome to the 1980 Star Basketball channel. I'm so excited to do this video because my favorite decade of collecting 1980s has a fundamental shift in the last year and a half, and it's exciting to see, and it's really gotten me into it, and excited about. And not many people, everyone knows about the first part of the news, but not many people know about the second. And then all the subsequent, there was kind of news upon news upon news, and that was the influencers. But to start out, kind of sum up, and then I'm going to show you what I mean, and kind of explain it all and in context. But first, I just kind of want to establish credibility, who I am and what I've done as far as just collecting and what I'm about. And really, I've been a collector for the 80s and some of the 90s and off and on. You can watch my intro video to see I explain more, but basically I love basketball cards. There's generally camps for people who are in the Jordan rookie camp and stuff, and the camps of who's the XRC and the rookies. I love basketball cards, and I don't have an affinity for either. I'm not in either camp. If anything, I'm actually more predispositioned towards Fleer, because that was what my nostalgia was, and packs. I rode my bike 5 miles to pick up these packs for 75 cents each, and I loved it just for the cards and everything. But that was my full intro into the love, which became decades of hobby love. And also to show that I'm a set collector, and again, Fleer, I have 88, 89, I have them all, and so I love collecting sets, Jordans, and Sacramento Kings. And so this isn't a flex right now. It's just to show you my perspective, what I'm into. My collection is small compared to some, and some people will think that it's pretty cool stuff. I think it's fantastic stuff. This is my sports memorabilia museum that I'm building, and you build yours. But this is what I've kind of been getting into recently. There's a 117 from 85 Star. This is the 195 Olympic Jordan from Star. And actually, these are all Star. The 288, there's a couple of them right there. That's actually my second favorite Star card. But and this is the Jordan rookie card, the 101. I have these in 7.5 and high grade. So I got 3 of them, and I'll be hoping getting more. Or moving up, they actually have bags, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But so that's actually just, again, no flex there. It's just to show of what I'm into and what I'm looking at. And the reason why I got into it is I'm more of a collector, but if you look at it as from an investment perspective, it just makes absolute sense to go here. And kind of without further ado, here is the 2 major pieces of information and the follow-on. So let's start it off with this. I saw this video, it's from 3 years ago. I don't know who the 2 guys are, but I just captured this clip. Check it out.
That was my hopes, and I've talked to a few people, and they said what's the incentive for PSA to start grading that? Right. I just don't think that will ever happen. I think to them it's too much of a risk. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
That makes sense. If PSA started grading, I mean, how much heat do you think these cards would get then?
I because of the Jordan documentary, it's already picked up. Yeah. But it would change everything. Yeah, I mean.
So he said if PSA started grading Star, it would change everything. Big words. He was right. So PSA decides to grade these things, which was a huge change. A lot of people were going, I think it's just going to be hype. It's going to go up for a little while and then come down. Well, the market has given a year and a half after that and absolutely shown that no, that's not the case. It has shifted because it wasn't just PSA that released that they said they're going to change. So do you remember this issue of Beckett right here, where they pretty much, Beckett started it off with the whole thing of putting Star into, kind of a special designation. They called, them XRC and whatnot, and had these weird, odd distribution arguments that never made sense to me whatsoever. But I kind of went with the flow. I love Fleer, and I got the cards, and I'm just a card collector, so I loved getting it. But this time around, I saw this, and before I've actually gotten the 86 Fleer 57 Jordan, and I got it, and it always bugged me that there was 2 years on the back, and I kind of went, this doesn't seem right when there's an NBA licensed set. So if there's an NBA licensed set, well, that kind of negates this as being a first year. This is the third year card of things, and that's what made logical sense to me. And now PSA and Beckett followed up PSA in October of 2022 with this. And if you haven't seen this, this is what I dub the apology issue. It is them basically coming out and saying, Star cards, they're really real and they're really nice. And yes, I didn't know much about Star. I've had a few here and there, but now as I've kind of gotten into it even more, it's created almost this discovery of 80s cards for me, and it's just fantastic. But the shift is happening. If you've been watching for 86 Fleer and for not so much 87 and 88s, I think those have all been kind of down to earth. Just they don't have the hype that 86 Fleer had. But fundamentally, it's broken. It's 86 Fleer is, if you think about Star, and actually with everyone coming out, Nat Turner from PSA said these are the rookie cards, and influencers now have been coming out. Jeff Wilson bought that, at the National, he paid $100K for a PSA 8 Jordan 101 Star rookie, and these kind of things. He comes out and and this is what his graphic is.
So not only does Jeff Wilson come out with this image for his buying the rookie card, the real rookie, he also does an interview with Steve Taft, who is kind of a Star legend, and I'll do a video on that later.
And, then you have other influencers. I really like this guy, Sports Card Dad. He's really down to earth, and another, he makes a lot of common sense, and, here's what he had to say.
I think that 84 Star number 101 is the true rookie card for Michael Jordan. It is the first one, and I understand, people are going to say, hey, 86 Fleer is iconic. It was way more widely distributed and more available, but to me, that's not the defining piece. I think 84 Star is it. So
if all these influencers, PSA and Beckett, there is no single voice in the hobby anymore. Way back when, Beckett used to be the only megaphone, and it was a centralized voice, which made things easy, but it also, if they made a mistake, like they did in this case in designating Star as XRCs, and they very much, at the time, when they were the megaphone, they very much had a vested interest, and it was in their, and it was the only correct, the only thing that they could do in that position. I would have done the same thing. Fleer was paying them to advertise, so it made sense for Beckett to designate, Fleer as it, and buy packs and buy product. And, they were the only ones that were giving Beckett dollars, and it makes complete and total sense. And, Beckett trying to say, do the right thing of what they thought, and they're getting paid. So, that was an easy decision on their part. Was it the correct one? Absolutely not, because you have to go down some rabbit hole of logic to say an NBA licensed set that was distributed. People didn't want basketball cards in '84, so you didn't have a demand. Your print runs were small. That supply met the demand. It just doesn't now. Everyone wants Jordans. And everyone, there's a lot of set collectors and basketball card collectors for vintage, obviously, but really everyone wants the GOAT. And I'll be doing a video on that later. So you have Beckett and saying this, and when it designated for Beckett to come back out, and essentially they cannot right now go, we're going to change the XRC designation to RC. They cannot do that. They would lose all credibility if they did that. So as a magazine, they pretty much have to keep what they said, and they would probably stand by. But this was the best that they could do. So I'll show it. If you pick this up, it's really, really, really cool, and it's fun to go through. So as I've looked, the funny thing to me, as I've gotten into Star, so it really made me look at Star, and it just opened up my eyes. At first, it's a little overwhelming because there's so many subsets. Really just focus. There's 3 base sets, 83, 84, and 85. If you actually think about it, I actually look at these now as there's those years of Fleer, 83, 84, 85 Fleer sets. They might as well be Fleer, Topps, or Star. Doesn't make a difference. They're the exact same thing. Star did actually things way cooler in my opinion. I love packs, believe me, I love ripping wax and doing some old boxes now and then are so much fun. And so I get it too, and I do it. The pack debate and whatever is, it just is completely invalid. And so here is actually a Star set. To show you, this is the first Star set. It is more like Topps than Fleer is like Topps. Topps puts out very comprehensive sets and players. Look at this. It has so many bench warmers and people who didn't play much and all the stars, and it was just really, really comprehensive for, that time. It was the most. And it didn't get covered like that until 89 Hoops. And the design of Star, this is just opinion. I personally think they're fantastic. I really like the bags. How they were distributed, most everyone knows this, but for anyone new that is kind of looking at it, they were distributed in bags. Everyone's favorite, the Kings. And, we had this an 83 Star bag. They didn't make many of these. I'll go into that in a whole different video, but again, these bags are really, really cool. So to sum up, we just basically had in the last year and a half 2 major voices in the hobby. We had the biggest voices, PSA, and because Beckett is the longest standing name, Beckett kind of go, oops. It's my view that was nothing short of an apology issue, and as I see it, and the market has adjusted. If you look at the market, you'll see Star is holding up. Fleer is not. It's going down with the rest, but I think that's going to continue. I think Star is solid. Look at the charts from July. Look at how things are relative from July when PSA first announced the news and from then on. And I think you'll see that Star has held, and in some cases going up. So from an investment, if you're looking at an investment standpoint, I see no reason, because 86 Fleer, there is a ton of it. It is not scarce. It is high priced. And on the flip side, Star is the exact opposite. So I can see that 86 Fleer will only go down while Star will go up. And, that is, it's been happening, and I think it's going to continue. And I view Star as a blue chip. It's almost a super low risk, high growth stock. I mean, it's kind of everything you would want in one. So I can see why the shift is now happening. The people who got in before, they're really happy, but you can still get the stuff, and Star. I think it's right now still very cheap. I think it has a long way to go, and I think it just has started. So that's my view from an investment perspective. again, you've had the big names and you've had the influencers come out and kind of solidify this. So I think this trend is going to continue. So I'm going to be making more videos. I'm going to be looking at weekly movements. And if you could do me a favor, subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff. I'll try and read as I have time. I'm busy for sure, but I'm obviously trying to get this and be a part of the hobby. And I hope you'll join me on this little ride.